Hey guys, it's Eric. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to burp an ostomy appliance. Stay tuned. So when someone says burping an ostomy appliance, what exactly does that mean? Well, burping an ostomy appliance is essentially releasing gas from it, and that's something that you would do yourself. It's not something that the filter on your bag is doing. It's not something that a chemical that you put inside your bag is doing. This is something that you're physically doing to your pouch. Now, this tends to be the easiest to do when you're talking about a two-piece system with a mechanical coupling. Some people say that they do burp their bag when they have a two-piece with an adhesive coupling, but I honestly do suggest against that, because once you start opening up a two-piece coupling system that's adhesive, it's harder to get it stuck back together permanently, and you may increase the risk of leaks and other problems like that. So I'm going to be doing a demo on how to burp a two-piece appliance with a mechanical coupling. The one that I'm wearing right now is the Hollister New Image. This will work on quite a few two-piece brands, but I will caution that some of them that have a very rigid plastic for the flange, so Coloplast Sensor Click, for example, it's not as easy to do, and there's more of a tendency for the bag to actually come off. So you need to be extra careful with that. On the Hollister, I find this to be a very easy appliance to burp because the mechanical coupling is pretty flexible, so it allows you to open it up slightly without any trouble. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Right now my bag is actually not ballooned. I haven't had any trouble with that, but when it does get ballooned, this is something that I do on occasion. So let me show you here. So I'm actually wearing my bag sideways. This will work regardless. It doesn't really matter. But what you want to do is you want to take one half of your mechanical coupling, put your finger on the other side, and then you want to separate them just a little bit. So you can see here it's just slightly open. But that will allow gas to come out. Now, what I sometimes do when it's really full is I'll just gently move some of the air out and towards that. And that usually works really well. Now, I do have to caution you, obviously there's a little bit of risk when you're doing that. If your bag is super full with output, you really don't want to be burping it. It's something that I've done on occasion, but there's more of a tendency to leak where you're opening it up, and you don't want to have that. Another thing is if you have very liquid output, just be extra careful again with that, because liquid is way easier for it to come out of your bag when you have it open up like that. So just take care when you're doing that. And I will say that this technique is probably my preferred technique. There is another technique that I will explain, and that essentially involves emptying from the outlet of your bag. So if you have a one-piece system that doesn't have a mechanical coupling that you can open, you can still burp your bag by going to the outlet. Now this way, it does have a little more risk than opening up a two-piece coupling, but if you're safe and you don't have a very full bag, then it tends to work okay. So the essential premise of this is you want to lay down. Make sure that any output that's in your bag is towards the top of the bag. What I tend to do is when it's on my abdomen and I'm laying down, I will lift up the bottom part of the bag just so that the output falls down a little bit and air goes to the top. And then what I'll do is I'll carefully open up the outlet. I'll let the gas out. Now when it is ballooned, the gas will come out pretty easily. It's not like you have to struggle to get it out. And sometimes I may gently just press down and get some of the other gas to go out the top. But usually it doesn't require that much effort. Now, if you're careful, no output will come out and you're pretty safe to just roll it back up and close it. So that's another technique to help burp your appliance. Now, here are a few other things that you should probably know. Now, obviously, when you're burping your appliance, there's going to be a lot of odor that comes out because the contents of your bag will still smell, and that gas tends to be very strong as far as the odor is concerned. So what I would always suggest doing is head into a bathroom. If you're outside, you can burp your bag outside. Try not to burp your bag in a confined space with other people. Definitely you don't want to do that. I would consider that really rude. It's the equivalent of like farting, in a room full of people. So if you can find a way to get somewhere else, like a bathroom, definitely do it like that. Now, if you're having trouble with ballooning, I do have another video that talks more about ways to prevent it, make things easier. Some are dietary changes. Other ones are more mechanical, how you're eating, how you're swallowing food, things like that. But I do also want to mention another one. There are certain pouch deodorants that go inside your bag. One of them is called M9 by Hollister, but there are other brands. Now, some people may find that when you're using something like M9, the bag doesn't tend to balloon as much. And the reason for that is because some of these deodorants will have ingredients in there that actually kill the bacteria that create more gas. Gas tends to be a byproduct of fermentation and bacteria and stuff like that. So when you have a bag that has some output in it, it doesn't necessarily have to be gas that's coming out of your stoma, but the stool itself is creating that gas. So you'll notice sometimes that even though your stoma is quiet, you're still getting a balloon pouch. That's exactly what's happening. So if you do happen to have something like M9, that should help to reduce the chance of ballooning caused by the bacteria in the stool and whatnot inside your bag. So that's something to keep in mind. That's more of a preventative measure, and that goes along with certain dietary changes and things like that. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you burp your appliance, let me know which technique you prefer. Let me know if you've run into any trouble burping, and perhaps share a few tips that you've found that have helped you out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.